For regular videos on ancient cultures and forgotten civilizations, please subscribe. Well, another year has left us behind, so this is a good time to look back on it and consider the greatest archaeological discoveries of 2022. And of course, the rankings here are based on my subjective opinion. And since I am an ancient historian, this list includes objects found from ancient times only. So there's nothing medieval here or prehistoric. Archaeological discoveries are important for the study of ancient history because with each discovery, ancient history is revised. Our understanding of the past changes. Sometimes a little, sometimes a lot. But they are always informative and transformative. So without further ado, let's count down the 20 greatest archaeological discoveries of 2022. Number 20, a Sassanid-era fire temple. Archaeologists have unearthed ruins of what they believe to be the third greatest ancient Iranian fire temple in a valley near the village of Robat-e-Safid, Bazarhur, in northeastern Iran. This is from the Sassanid era, which was the longest-lived Persian royal dynasty, ruling for as long as 400 years, 224 to 651 CE. In the Zoroastrian fire temples, the fire was not worshipped at all. Still, because of its dynamism, warmth, protection role, and the nature of transformation, it is commonly mentioned as an aspect of divine power. The Zoroastrian place of worship is called a fire temple because they perform their prayers in the presence of fire. In ancient Iran, the head of the family always kept the fire burning, so keeping the fire lit became a tradition and a divine symbol. These fresh discoveries are expected to open a new chapter in the history of Iranian arts during the Sassanid period. Number 19, tombs of elite Wari craftsmen. A group of tombs of elite craftsmen of the Wari culture has been discovered at the archaeological site of Castillo de Huarmi, a pyramid-like burial complex in the Ancash region of Peru. Castillo de Huarmi was thought to be a cemetery for Wari royalty, a pre-Inca Middle Horizon civilization that flourished in modern-day Peru's south-central Andes and coastal area from around 500 to 1000 CE. 4 adults, 2 men and 2 women, and 3 adolescent burials were discovered inside adobe brick tombs, along with hundreds of the tools and supplies they would have used in their occupations. These tombs are the first ever found of outstanding Wari craftsmen, and they confirm Huarmi's importance as an administrative and cultural center. Number 18, a tunnel at Taposiris Magna. Yes, a rock tunnel 13 meters deep and dating to the Ptolemaic period was discovered on the famous site of Taposiris Magna in Egypt, 45 kilometers from the city of Alexandria. The announcement of the discovery by an Egyptian and Dominican team of this tunnel, of 1,305 meters long and 2 meters high, is of particular interest to researchers because it carried water to the people of the city. It appears to be an exact replica of the Eupalinos tunnel in Greece, which is considered one of the most important engineering achievements of antiquity. Within the tunnel, archaeologists recovered 2 alabaster sculptures of heads, coins, and fragments of statues of Egyptian deities. Although the site has been associated to the possible location of the legendary tomb of Cleopatra, the archaeologists say this is still speculation. While we wait to see if this hypothesis is true, the various excavations done here on the site allow us to better understand the spatial organization of these ancient cities, and here, for example, their fresh water supply during the Ptolemaic era. Number 17, twin Olmec reliefs. Archaeologists in Mexico have uncovered 2 Olmec reliefs chiseled into large circular stones that are thought to depict local rulers performing ritual contortion. The twin pieces were found in Tenosique, a town located in the state of Tabasco near Mexico's southern tip, and are believed to feature rulers from the ancient Olmec civilization. The Olmecs thrived between 1200 and 400 BCE and are considered the first sophisticated pre-Hispanic civilization in Mesoamerica. Today, they're best known for their sculptures of colossal heads. The 2 carved monuments portray the faces of local rulers with their grumpy mouths open and their arms crossed. Each piece is punctuated by footprints, a diadem, corn cobs, an Olmec cross, and glyphs of jaguars. Constructed of limestone, these 2 massive 3D sculptures measure approximately 4.5 feet, that's 1.4 meters, in diameter, and they weigh 1,543 pounds, about 700 kilograms each. Number 16, Roman water system at Stabii. Oh yes, archaeologists have found a Roman water system during excavations in Stabii, located near Pompeii. A small peristyle colonnaded garden at Villa Ariana had uncovered parts of this system during archaeological cleaning, revealing a decorated lead tank, which was part of a water distribution system within the villa complex. 2 pipes are connected to the impluvium, that's the central water collection tank, in the atrium, that fed water throughout the wider villa complex by regulating the flow of the water into the various rooms. Archaeologists suggest that the tank was likely visible in ancient times to allow access to the 2 stop keys, enabling the inhabitants to regulate the flow or shut off water distribution in order to carry out maintenance operations of the system. It's also interesting to note that the Roman author Pliny the Elder records that Stabii had several miles of luxury coastal villas along the edge of the headland, with notable figures such as Julius Caesar, the emperors Augustus and Tiberius, and the statesman-philosopher Cicero, all owning properties there. Number 15. Ancient riverboat at Uruk. A 4,000-year-old Sumerian boat from the ancient city of Uruk was unearthed in April. According to a press release by the German Archaeological Institute, the boat was discovered largely intact by a joint German-Iraqi team. The boat was constructed out of organic materials covered in bitumen, a substance made from crude oil and commonly used for waterproofing across Mesopotamia. The boat measures approximately 23 feet long and 4.5 feet wide. After preliminary studies, the team suggested that the Mesopotamian boat most likely became lodged in the loose soil of the Euphrates riverbank, and over time was covered with silt and sediment. From the boat's archaeological context, the team determined that it is likely around 4,000 years old, which would place it toward the end of the Ur-3 period or the beginning of the Isin-Larsa period. The discovery may help us understand more on the development of Sumerian naval technology. Number 14, a bird's eye view of Lagash. Although we've known about the ancient city of Lagash, its full extent has up to now not been determined. But using remote sensing data technologies at the site of one of the oldest urban centers in world history, scientists have identified the boundaries of the Mesopotamian city. We now know that once upon a time, Lagash consisted of 4 marsh islands interconnected by waterways. A flourishing, watery lifestyle existed almost 5,000 years ago in this ancient wetland area located between the Euphrates and Tigris rivers in southern Iraq. After initial remote sensing data gathered from the ground level, a drone was used to photograph the area around Lagash over 6 weeks. Unfortunately, just like other great historic cities, Lagash was doomed to collapse. In the end, it met its end when the marshy water levels fell due to a spike in temperatures. Since nearby cities continued to be occupied and inhabited for at least another 1,000 years, Lagash's abandonment provides a window into a past that challenges the deeply held beliefs of what a Mesopotamian city looked like. Number 13, a bird's eye view of Kalak Mul. Along similar lines, following years of research, the Department of Anthropology and Archaeology at UCalgary has used LiDAR, light detection and ranging, to help uncover more secrets of the enormous ancient Maya city of Kalak Mul. Immense apartment-style residential compounds have been identified throughout the surveyed area, some with as many as 60 individual structures, the seats of large households composed of extended families and affiliated members. These large residential units were clustered around numerous temples, shrines, and possibly marketplaces, making Kalak Mul one of the largest cities in the Americas around 700 CE. The LiDAR technology also showed that all available land was covered with water canals, terraces, walls, and dams to provide maximum food and water security for the city dwellers. LiDAR will also continue to support the Bajo Labyrinto Archaeological Project, which aims to investigate the causes for the rapid population increase at Kalak Mul and its effect on the region's environment. Number 12, rock carvings and inscriptions in Iraq. I don't know if rediscovery counts as a discovery, but I wanted to mention them. In 2016, the militant group ISIS dealt a sharp blow to world history. The group, known for their hatred of pre-Islamic structures, destroyed the archaeological sites of the Mashki and Adad gates. These gates were part of the fortification wall at Nineveh, in what is now Iraq. The 7th century BCE structures were rebuilt in the 20th century, but many ancient components were still on site. In October, the Iraqi State Board of Antiquities and Heritage announced that 7 of these remnants, ancient stone slabs carved with intricate designs, have recently been recovered. American and Iraqi archaeologists, in a concerted effort, uncovered 8 marble slabs which decorated the ancient gate and which survived slightly damaged. The slabs date to the reign of King Sennacherib, 705 to 681 BCE. Finding the carved slabs was a stroke of luck and an important moment in preserving Iraqi history. Then also, archaeologists have rediscovered a 6.5-foot high door threshold in the ancient city of Nimrud. It was found in the palace of the Assyrian king Adad-nirari III, who reigned from 810 to 783 BCE. British archaeologist Austen Henry Layard first excavated the Adad-nirari palace in the 1840s and had found this inscription, but then it was likely reburied and lost to time. Number 11, Hittite hieroglyphs in an ancient tunnel. A lecturer at the Department of Archaeology at Mardin Artuklu University was taking his students through the Yerkapi Tunnel in the ancient Hittite capital of Hattusha when they discovered 249 hieroglyphs painted on the stone walls of the tunnel. The tunnel is more than 240 feet long and was built 3,500 years ago using thousands of large boulders inside an artificial embankment on the ancient city walls near the Sphinx Gate. Archaeologists believe it was not simply a passageway through the fortifications used for practical purposes in the city's defense, but rather for religious ceremonies. Preliminary interpretation suggests that the hieroglyphs may be symbolic representations of deities. The remains of 12 other similar tunnels have been discovered under the Hittite era walls, but this one is by far the best preserved. We will have to wait and see what further study of this writing reveals. Number 10. Etruscan Temple in Vulci. Archaeologists identified one of the largest known sacred buildings of the Etruscans in the ancient city of Vulci. The building, which is 45 meters by 35 meters, is situated west of the Tempio Grande, a sacred building which was excavated back in the 1950s. Initial examination of the strata of the foundation of the northeast corner of the temple and the objects they found there led the researchers to date the construction of the temple towards the end of the 6th or beginning of the 5th century BCE. The new temple is roughly the same size and on a similar alignment as the neighboring Tempio Grande and was built at roughly the same time. This kind of duplication of monumental buildings in an Etruscan city is rare and indicates an exceptional finding. The temple may help the researchers understand the settlement strategies and urbanistic structures of the people of Vulci, one of the 12 cities of the Etruscan Federation and one of the most important urban centers in pre-Roman times. Number 9, the tomb of a mercenary commander at Abu Sir. In the spring of 2022, an archaeological team from the Czech Institute of Egyptology, Faculty of Arts, Charles University, discovered and carefully documented the tomb of an ancient Egyptian dignitary named Wahibre Merenid during fieldwork in Abu Sir, Egypt. Although it was looted in antiquity, the site has provided valuable information. The tomb most likely dates to the late 26th or early 27th dynasty, the very beginning of the 5th century BCE. On the sarcophagus of the ancient Egyptian dignitary, the most prominent title given is Commander of Foreign Mercenaries. Wahibre Merenid commanded mercenary soldiers coming from the Aegean Islands and Asia Minor who served in the Egyptian army during the first globalization of the ancient world. The discovery is unique and important as it offers new insights into the troubled period of the beginning of Persian dominion in Egypt. Number 8, a Roman sanctuary in the Netherlands. Archaeologists discovered a complete and relatively intact Roman sanctuary, including at least 2 temples, remains of idols, reliefs, and painted plaster in Herwen-Hemmeling in the municipality of Zevenaar. What makes the discovery extra special is several complete votive stones or altars dedicated to various gods and goddesses. The sanctuary was mainly used by Roman soldiers, as can be seen from the many roof tile stamps, an industry that was an army activity at the time. The archaeologists also found remains of horse harnesses, armor, and weapons. The soldiers prayed to their gods at this sanctuary from the 1st to 4th century CE. Whereas other Roman buildings were often broken down to reuse the ready-made stones in other construction projects, that hardly happened here at all. Number 7, 5 painted tombs at Saqqara. Egypt's Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities presented its recent discoveries this past March, which included 5 tombs belonging to a pharaonic necropolis complex at Saqqara, just outside the capital of Cairo. The tombs are believed to have housed senior officials from the Old Kingdom and First Intermediate period of ancient Egypt. That goes back to as long ago as 2700 BCE. Archaeologists found not only well-preserved paintings, but also small statues and pottery, as well as stone and wooden coffins. The area where the tombs were discovered is rich with ancient Egyptian history. The necropolis is close to the step pyramid of Djoser, and not far from the pyramid of King Mercenary I at Saqqara. The Saqqara complex area has provided a plethora of ancient discoveries in recent years. And number 6, late Shang Dynasty tombs. A 3,000-year-old cemetery containing the tombs of a wealthy clan has been uncovered in central China following 2 years of excavation by archaeologists. The site in Anyang, Henan province, is thought to have been home to a clan named Tse during the Shang dynasty. The archaeological site contained 18 building foundations, 24 tombs, 4 horses and chariot pits, and several remarkably intact relics, including jade and stone items and bronzeware inscribed with the character Tse. Researchers believe the courtyards and tombs were built late in the dynasty, which ended in 1046 BCE and ushered in China's Bronze Age. The cemetery was likely restored and reused many times, but was abandoned after the Shang were overthrown. The discovery of the cemetery may help researchers to ascertain the clan's social status, how the community was structured, and whether they had any relationship with the dynasty's royal family. Number 5, an ancient Parthian city at Al-Suwaira. An archaeological dig in Al-Suwaira, some 60 kilometers south of Baghdad, has revealed an ancient Parthian city. Yes, a city, and unearthed more than 200 artifacts. According to a statement from the Iraq State Board of Antiquities and Heritage, the recently completed mission took place in Abu Ghafil and revealed wooden residential structures, as well as 233 artifacts that were sent to the Iraq Museum in Baghdad. The artifacts that were found during excavation are mainly household items. The Parthian Empire, which lasted from 247 BCE to 224 CE, was located on the Silk Road trade route between the Roman Empire and the Mediterranean Basin and the Han Dynasty of China, and it encompassed Persian, Hellenistic, and regional cultures. Number 4, the Maya city of Sheol. Yes, another whole city. Now, technically, the site has been excavated for a couple years now, but in 2022, new artifacts were uncovered, and the discovery of an ancient city is an archaeological dream. The ruins of this ancient Maya city include palaces, pyramids, and plazas, and were found on a construction site of what will become an industrial park near Mérida on Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. The site is so well preserved that even the archaeologists were surprised. The ancient city, called Sheol, has features of the Maya Pug style of architecture, which is common in the southern Yucatan Peninsula, but rare near Mérida. Archaeologists estimate that more than 4,000 people lived in Sheol from 600 to 900 CE. Researchers also located nearby burial grounds of adults and children who were interred with obsidian and flint tools, offerings, and other belongings. Specialists say that the discovery will be fundamental to our understanding of the classic period of Maya civilization. Number 3, bronze statues in a Tuscan spa. A group of Italian archaeologists made the discovery of 24 well-preserved bronze statues from an ancient thermal spring in Tuscany. The discovery is made up of 24 large statues, a few statuettes, and approximately 5,000 bronze, silver, and gold coins. All of the items date from the 2nd century BCE to the 1st century CE, a time of conflict and cultural transformation as the region passed from Etruscan to Roman control. The bronze statues show evidence that Etruscan and Roman families prayed together to deities in the sacred sanctuary of the thermal baths, with the statues bearing both Etruscan and Latin inscriptions. The bronzes, which include portrayals of Greco-Roman gods like Hygieia and Apollo, were likely decorations for an ancient bathhouse and may have been thrown into the thermal waters as a part of a ritual. This discovery is said to rewrite history regarding the transition from the Etruscan civilization to the Roman Empire in the 1st and 2nd centuries BCE. Number 2, bronze artifacts at Sanxingdui. The Sanxingdui archaeological site in the southwestern Chinese province of Sichuan is considered one of the most important discoveries of the century, shedding light on a little-known culture that flourished more than 3,000 years ago. Believed to be part of the broader Shu state, the civilization continues to fascinate more than 3,000 years after its demise. A trove of 13,000 artifacts were unearthed at the Sassanid ruins over the past 2 years, and they are poised to offer new insights on this mysterious Bronze Age culture. Found in 6 sacrificial pits, the cache includes 1,238 bronze wares, 543 gold artifacts, and 565 jade objects. Among the highlights of the discoveries from 2022 is a bronze box with a tortoise-shaped lid, dragon head handles, and bronze ribbons. A green jade is tucked inside the container, which appears to have once been wrapped in silk. And number 1, 250 coffins and 150 statues at Saqqara. Egypt unveiled in May a major new archaeological find: 250 sealed coffins containing mummies, 150 bronze statues of ancient gods and goddesses, and other antiquities at the Saqqara necropolis, south of the capital Cairo. An Egyptian archaeological mission working in the Bubastion cemetery area discovered a bronze statues cache in the site that dates to the late period of ancient Egypt. The cache included 150 different size bronze statues of gods and goddesses like Anubis, Osiris, Isis, Bastet Hathor, several bronze pots as well. The mission has also discovered 250 intact colored wooden coffins that date back to about 500 BCE inside several burial wells. There are well-preserved mummies, as well as a group of golden-faced wooden statues, painted wooden boxes, and amulets. That's the first time in this century that such an immense quantity of coffins has been found on a single Egyptian necropolis. Now, if you think I left something out, an important discovery from 2022, from the ancient period, please let us know in the comments down below, because I don't want to leave anything important out. If you got something out of this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to help out the channel further, you can become a patron for as little as $2 per month at patreon.com/World of Antiquity. You might like my little e-booklet, Why Ancient History Matters. It's designed to persuade people that the subject is important, even in the modern world. You might also wish to use it to help spread the word, so feel free to share it with someone you know. It's free for anyone who wants it. I've left a link in the description box below the video for you to grab a copy. Catch you later.